Peter Servold of Pete's Paleo and I will be cooking up 3 recipes from Pete's amazing cookbook, Paleo by Season. Blood orange glazed scallops, artichoke, shiitake, and roasted garlic salad with a TX bar organic steak, and a creamy roasted carrot soup with carrot top pistou. Stay tuned to the end of today's episode where you'll discover how to win a gift certificate to Pete's Paleo and a copy of his cookbook so you can eat seasonal meals every night of the week in style. I'm your host, Camille Macris, paleo chef, lover of good food and vibrant health. Each week, Camille's Paleo Kitchen brings you special guests, recipes, fun tips and tricks, along with a giveaway of one of my favorite kitchen tools that will leave you inspired and excited to cook at home for you and your family. It's all happening now on Camille's Paleo Kitchen. Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 7. The time has been flying. We spent an awesome morning at Susie's farm. Ate some really delicious strawberries and learned so much about why eating local is awesome. And so now we are back with our awesome guest, Pete Servold from Pete's Paleo. Thanks for coming back with us.
It's awesome to be here. This morning was a blast.
It was really fun.
It was really cool.
That turnip, man. We ate these turnips fresh out of the ground that was like as juicy as a peach. Weren't those amazing?
The turnip epiphany, I call it. It's like you think your whole life you've thought this of turnips, but no.
No, you were wrong.
Yeah.
We actually left the farm today with a basic CSA box. And Pete, would you like to tell us a little bit more about what a CSA box is?
CSAs are awesome. It's actually how Susie's got their start. If it wasn't for CSAs, we wouldn't be able to get them for Pete's Paleo today.
But what does CSA stand for?
It stands for Community Supported Agriculture.
Okay.
But what you do is you pay in advance, and then you know every week you're going to get fresh local vegetables from your local organic farm.
Right.
And the best part is, and you'll hate this at first, but it'll end up being the best part, is it forces you to cook all those things that you're not comfortable with.
Right. So we are doing 3 beautiful recipes today. We are going to start with a beautiful carrot soup, and we're actually doing that with the root, the orange of the carrot in the soup, and then we're doing a little pistou, which is the greens on the top, right?
Yeah, so the pistou is a French version of a pesto. So that,
perfect. Okay.
It's the same idea of with basil and olive oil and lemon and salt, but with the tops of the carrots. So you're using the whole
thing.
Plant. And then you're also getting that, that fresh, clean, vibrant green flavor balanced out with that rich, hearty sweetness of the carrot and the shallots and all the other components of the soup.
Yes. One of the things that I love about the way you work, Pete, is a lot like me. I don't really like using recipes when you're wanting to cook locally and with the things you have at the market. It's a lot more fun when you understand how to manipulate kinds of ingredients and flavors so you're not bound to recipes. So even though we will be giving you all the recipes at the end of the episode at paleokitchen.tv, we are going to be continuing to show you the principles so that you're not bound by recipes, and you really can just get a beautiful CSA box from your farm and just go to town with it.
Yeah, you really want to be able to, the more and more that you get into eating healthy, the more that you can use whatever is around you whenever it's around, as opposed to saying, I need to make this recipe because this is the recipe I have. The more money you're going to save, the better the food's going to taste, the more nutritious it's going to be. I mean, you just win when you start to put those skills under your belt. Absolutely.
So we're starting with our soup, and then from there, we're going to make a beautiful steak. And what are we doing with that steak? There's a salad.
So what's cool about getting CSAs is you're going to be overwhelmed with vegetables at first, but what you find is that it's really easy to just grill them or roast them and then just make a salad out of it. So we're going to make a roasted artichoke and mushroom salad with some roasted garlic. So you have all these hearty, umami, earthy flavors that are all vegetable based, and then it'll pair really well with that nice grass-fed steak we're going to put on top.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so nice. Then the last thing we're making is going to be with an ingredient that I am absolutely in love with right now, is blood oranges.
We're making a glaze for the scallops.
So these beautiful scallops.
It's really nice. People think winter, they think kind of boring, kind of drab time, but it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen a candy stripe beet or a blood orange, but I mean, it's rare that things get more vibrant than they do in the winter.
It's amazing. So that's what we're doing today, and let's get started.
Sounds good.
All right. Do you want to show us what you did with the carrots already?
Yeah, so I took the carrots. All I did was take the tops off, and then we just threw them in the oven with a little bit of ghee and some shallots, and just roasted it until they were beautiful golden brown at 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then we're going to take some bone broth.
Okay.
Use it all the time.
And you make this in the Pete's Paleo kitchen, right?
We do, yeah. We actually roast all the bones from all the pastured animals that we get all of our other proteins from. We add in some organic roasted vegetables, and it cooks for about 3 days.
So let's just, we have our veggies already cooked. Let's pull over our blender and just put the soup together.
Yeah, it couldn't be any more simple than that.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
So what we have here is we have our food processor. Now you can use either a blender or a food processor for the carrot soup. Either one works.
Okay, so we got our shallots and our carrots. Now what?
Shallots, carrots, and then stock and a little bit of salt. It's literally a 3-ingredient soup for the most part.
Awesome.
It can be that simple.
And our stock looks like it's nice and hot.
Yeah, so you have it nice and hot. Now you want to work in small batches with this. So you can see we have just a little bit of soup today. So we're only going to add a little bit of liquid at once.
Okay.
When you're pureeing hot liquids, they will release steam.
Yes.
When you turn it on, and you don't want to make a mess or hurt anybody.
Should we add a little bit more stock now?
Yeah, so we add perfect. So the nice thing about doing this recipe is you can make it a little thick, and then it's just a puree.
Totally.
And you can thin it out a little bit, and it's a beautiful, elegant soup.
Yep.
So like you were talking about, where we don't use recipes, we just kind of start cooking.
Yep.
This is another one of those recipes that can be a lot of different
Absolutely.
things. And since we're going to use the whole plant, we're going to use those green tops. You can go extra roasty and just make it nice and just really sexy on the flavor, because you're going to have tons of bright color from the green.
Yeah.
Do not worry about what you just did there. It's okay. If you're making everything from scratch, you're not going to oversalt your food or eat too much salt. You can add as much as you want until it tastes good.
And salt is a flavor enhancer. So a lot of times people will start cooking and think, oh my gosh, I followed everything. Why does it still not taste like anything? Because you didn't put enough salt. And as soon as you add that salt, you begin to taste all of the other flavors.
It just turns on your flavor receptors and just makes everything work.
And when you're using great salt like we are, this is a beautiful sea salt from Bali, then it's actually really good for you.
It's really good for you.
Yeah.
And you can taste the difference.
Totally. You're not using any of that Morton's iodized junk. That's amazing.
You know, it's just a couple ingredients from a place a few miles from here. We're going to add these greens, like I said. You just drop them right into the water.
Okay.
This is the top of the carrot that has been cleaned
Okay.
and chopped up roughly.
Okay.
Dropped right into the water. Count with me to 10 Mississippi. That's it. 8,
7, 10.
9. Okay, 10.
Okay.
Do you understand that it's not that big of a deal? It can go either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put this in a little cold water just to shock it and stop arrest the cooking process. I'm going to go do that real quick.
Okay.
And just like when you're making basil, the green can oxidize, right? It can turn black on you and everything. So you really want to make sure that you're using the ice cold carrot tops, and you want to just kind of squeeze a lot of the water out of there.
Okay.
And then the other big thing that'll keep it from browning up will be all of the lemon juice and citrus that we're going to put in there.
Yeah. So are we using zest or just the juice?
Yes.
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
Yes.
So zest is where you're really going to get a lot of the lemon flavor and freshness, whereas the juice is what's going to give you the acidity.
Right. And getting like we've talked about touching. When you have your flavors touching all of the different places on your tongue, that's what gives you the wah. Yeah.
Especially when you're cooking, you want to make sure that you use zest more than juice. If you're going to heat something up, the juice loses its flavor, the zest will keep it.
Ooh, I like that tip.
Now, this is important. When you're making any kind of puree or stuff like this, salt and pepper tend to dissolve much better in acid, but they don't in fat. So we're going to give this a swirl with just the acid and the greens in it after you season it. And then we're going to puree it with the olive oil as well.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. So now we're going to add a little bit of freshly ground pepper.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So we're going to give it a spin with just the acid and the lemon zest and the salt and the black pepper.
Okay.
And then we're going to start to add the olive oil.
Okay. Ooh.
So you really want to use that nice extra virgin olive oil with this because you're not going to cook with it. You're not going to heat it up.
Right.
So that beautiful flavor is going to come through. I'd say about there is good for now. When it kind of spins out like that and they kind of go to the sides, you can slow down and you can start to add a little bit more olive oil.
Okay.
Now you just let the Vitamix be awesome. And there it is. Just that bright, beautiful, awesome green. This can be, you can use this like with crudité, you can dip fresh vegetables into it, you can make a vinaigrette out of it. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with it.
That's awesome. I cannot believe that until today I've never used carrot tops. All right, let's move on to the next recipe, shall we?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. All right, so now we are going to make our pan-seared ribeye with this beautiful roasted oyster mushroom and artichoke wintry salad, right?
Yeah, so the goal of this is one, obviously to make delicious food, but to show you, when you get the CSA, it's really as simple as just roasting a couple of the vegetables from it, tossing it with some olive oil, lemon, salt, and black pepper. And
similar to what we just did with carrots.
Very much so, and just really letting the ingredients speak for themselves. They taste delicious,
right?
And salt and pepper and olive oil and cooking methods is what brings that out for you.
Totally, and that I just want to say that's one of the really amazing things about eating local and seasonal food, that there's so little that you need to do to try to change or manipulate the flavor. We have this beautiful ribeye steak. It's grass-fed from our friends at TX Bar Organics.
This product from start to finish, just like this morning at Susie's, is something that you can be proud of, be proud to serve yourself and your family, and know that it's an awesome product.
It is. It's beautiful. So what do we have going on over here?
So I have a super hot pan, and I mean super hot. When you are searing at home on a cast iron or a big fat pan like this, you will be blown away by how fast it can lose its heat.
Yes.
So our real goal is to start with a super high heat, and then we're gonna have a nice, beautiful animal-based fat for searing. So bacon fat, duck fat, ghee.
Yeah.
Today we're using bacon fat.
And we're using our awesome Salad Master 2-burner griddle. So this is starting to smoke a little bit. Is that okay?
Yeah, you want it with that much heat. You can turn it down a little bit, but it's going to smoke, and things are happening.
Okay.
You just want to work fast and get that meat in there.
Okay.
And it'll cool it down.
Cool. So we're gonna season that up.
Very dry steak, lots of salt. A lot of salt's gonna fall off, so you can go a little heavier than what you think.
And when he says dry, he means that we wicked out all of the moisture, because the water will be the enemy of getting that nice golden sear that you want on your steak.
Pepper is just a dried berry.
Yeah.
So it'll burn.
Right.
So if you're cooking with this kind of high heat, you don't want to use pepper. So be careful when you're using this high heat with steak or anything that you stay away from pepper.
Okay. And so now these are pretty thin steaks. How long are we going to cook these on each side?
Well, the nice thing about grass-fed steak is that it's much leaner than your corn-fed or grain-fed.
Right.
So it's going to cook much faster.
Okay.
We're looking for a nice medium all the way through.
Okay.
So I like to do about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And while that's searing, you can go ahead and throw together your salad.
All right. Well, let's do that. Here's
Sounds
a bowl.
good. So what we did is we grilled some shiitake and oyster mushrooms.
Yum.
And then some artichoke hearts. You can get artichoke hearts organic and local, already canned and processed for you. So the steaks are going nice and hot. We've got our roasted veg. This is basically a salad as is, but we're gonna obviously make it taste really good. So we need some fat and some umami, and we're gonna get that from this beautiful roasted garlic. I wrapped it in foil.
Okay.
I put a knob of that bacon fat in there, a pinch of salt, and I roasted it for 30 minutes at 325 degrees.
Awesome.
Now it's important, I want you to see, you take the whole top off right there.
Ooh, look at that.
Well, you'll see that doesn't pop out like most traditional roasted garlic.
Yeah, why is that?
So I do that so that it actually maintains a little bit more of the flavor. The other option is you can have peeled cloves. You can put them in a little olive oil so that it covers the cloves.
Oh, right, and roast it.
And you can roast it right in the olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so how many of these do we want for your salad?
Well, we're looking at this salad, so I'm thinking maybe 7 or 9 cloves at most. So that'll do. So we'll stop there. That's enough garlic. Now if you're thinking about, again, building flavors and things like that.
Yeah.
We need a little bit of freshness. So what I have here is just a little fresh parsley that we got from Susie's farm.
Nice.
It's super, super just fresh and clean and herbaceous and a great ingredient. So you can see how it's clear and a little bit of red on the bottom that's coming through. That's how I know it's time to take the steak out. And we're gonna let this rest for a few minutes. I'm gonna put it on a room temperature salad.
Okay.
And so you kind of want like a little cooler. You don't want to put like a smoking hot steak
Right.
on like a room temperature
Just have it
vegetables.
just, like, fall apart.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
just kind of wilt it.
Okay.
So we have the super fresh parsley, and then you were ahead of the game there and zested the lemon.
Again, I love the lemon zest, so I'm just going to throw all that in there.
Go for it. I've never had anything sent back because it was too fresh and herbaceous.
Yeah, and can I add the lemon?
So
Okay.
I always use as much lemon and parsley as I see fit. So again, we're gonna toss it while it's seasoned with the citrus, and then we're gonna add the fat. Perfect. That's it.
Right. So you can add that in as I finish getting it all mixed together.
And this is gonna taste. It's gonna taste full. It's gonna taste rich and hearty. There's mushrooms. There's artichokes. There's the onions.
That roasty garlic is...
Yeah, the roasted garlic. There's huge whole cloves of beautiful roasted garlic. That's so good for you.
So it can really hold up to this rich,
hearty steak.
hearty steak that we have in front of us.
Exactly.
So we are on to our last recipe.
Yes, we are.
Our beautiful scallops with a blood orange glaze and the most beautiful greens we got at Susie's farm today. So what are we doing over here?
So right now I've got some blood orange juice being reduced for a glaze,
Okay.
and then we're also going to kind of make a mini vinaigrette
Oh, cool.
out of the salad.
Really good all
so
that.
we're going to zest a bit of the orange,
Okay.
and then just a little bit of the orange juice.
Really what you're going to find for the most part in your CSA boxes are root vegetables. You're going to find things with leaves. So
Yeah,
whether it
cruciferous
be...
green vegetables.
Right, you're going to
kale.
find, broccoli. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, but you'll find things like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, kale. These are two different kinds of cauliflowers that we're using. Same thing as we did with the carrots, where we just tossed these with a little bit of ghee and salt, and we roasted these in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes, and we got this nice little golden flavor on it. So we're just going to toss some of those in.
It's ready-made salad edition. So we're going to do the scallops now. So again, super, super important with scallops that they are dry,
Okay.
which means you don't salt them until the second before they're about to go in the pan, because salt is going to leach water
Yep.
out. Yeah. Always start at noon and work your way around with scallops, because you're going to want to pull them out. They cook so fast that you
You want to know where you started and where to stop.
Exactly.
Good tip.
So you can see these are pretty much cooked. Beautiful golden brown. And I know what order I have to go in because I worked in the clockwork fashion. I'm going to let those go for 15 more seconds with the heat completely on, and then turn them off, and they'll coast the rest of the way on their own.
So these scallops are from our friends at Wild Things Seafood. They just make gorgeous products. I have all of their stuff in my freezer at home right now, and I really love the things that they put together for me because I know that they're going to be they're chef ready.
So we have this beautiful salad here. Again, just some of the vegetables.
So remind us again what's in this salad.
So simple. So we have some red mustard frill, some
Okay.
tatsoi, some winter romaine, shaved shallot, blood orange juice, blood orange zest, little olive oil, and 2 different kinds of cauliflower.
Yum.
Now you think, oh, that sounds simple, and then he listed 9 ingredients.
Yeah.
But if you have a CSA, you're going to need something to do with all those 9 ingredients,
Yeah.
and it goes really well in this salad.
All right, now for this week's giveaway. This week, Pete has brought some really awesome stuff to give to you. Before I let him talk about that, let me tell you what you need to do to enter. So to enter this week's giveaway, all you need to do is make one of these dishes from today's show. And it doesn't need to be exactly like this. We want you to actually go and get a CSA box or go to your farmer's market and find some local foods and use the principles that we use today and make up your own dish. It's a little bit different than we do on some episodes, but that's the name of the game. So you just then go to paleokitchen.tv/giveaway, and you'll enter to win there, and then put up the picture of your finished dish on Instagram, #PaleoGasm. What will they win?
A bunch of our meals.
What?
Yeah, so we know that this is daunting, and we want you to get started. And that's why I'm spending the day with you hanging out at farms and showing you how to cook some of our food from Paleo by Season. But we have these ready-to-eat meals, which take all of the awesome local produce that you saw from here in San Diego today. They pull it out of the ground Monday. We cook Tuesday, Wednesday, and ship out all over the country.
Wow.
You're eating produce that was in the ground Monday, Friday afternoon.
Wow, that's amazing. That's like when you guys are buying stuff just at normal supermarkets, it could be sitting there for weeks or even months before you're actually eating it. So what Pete is doing with Pete's Paleo is it's just truly a spectacular product.
And everything's ready to eat. All you have to do is warm it up and it's ready to go. And then from there you can get ideas and get started and really, find yourself cooking things like this at home.
And then along with that, they'll get a copy of your cookbook when they do want to try things.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I just want people to eat like this. So whether you get the meals or, go through the cookbook, we walk you through a CSA in this cookbook and show you how to handle everything and what to expect. And
So everything we talked about today, plus so much more detail, is going to be in Pete's book. And where can they buy this?
They can go to Amazon.com or they can go to any Barnes & Noble or Costco. Okay,
perfect. And then so if you want to also learn more about Pete's Paleo, if you want to try in order for the first time, you're just going to go to paleokitchen.tv/Pete's Paleo, and that will take you right to his site, and you can learn more.
Awesome.
So next week, we are going to have our friend JJ Virgin here talking with us about sugar impact and lowering your sugar impact. She's also bringing some really great things to give away to help you to get that nasty sugar out of your diet. A lot of people think that their sugar addiction has to stay with them forever, and JJ is going to show us
JJ's the best.
That's really not the case, and you can feel so much better. All right, so we will see you next week, and in the meantime, get cooking. Bye.